Hello everybody, this is David Blair, the Crosshairs Trader. Before I begin my weekly look at the stock charts, let me point out one new thing on my website at www.thecrosshairstrader.com. And the reason I point this out is we've got earnings season that is going to be coming up in a few weeks. So what I have installed on my site, and this may move here in a few days, but right now in the right hand sidebar of my home page and my blog page, you will see this little gadget here where it asks, do you want a company's next earnings date? This way to give you an idea of how far out a company's earnings is. It can allow you to get out of the trade instead of going through earnings, which I never do. I never go through an earnings report with a position. That's just one of my rules. The other thing is, if a company's earnings are a few weeks out, it can increase the volatility of that stock, therefore provide you some wonderful opportunities to trade into earnings. So if you want a company's next earnings date, just look in the right-hand sidebar, and you can put in a company's symbol, and one of which we're going to look at in our video today is BEXP. Put that in. Briefing provides this information, and there it is. You can see that the next earnings date is November the 4th. Okay, so that is just another tool that I've added to my website. You can check that out, and like I said, it may move from the bottom up toward the top, but just look in the right hand side. Download my free ebook if you'd like. Join us for some weekly webinars if you'd like a free invitation. If you're not a Crosshairs trader, just contact me. If you haven't signed up to receive my free blog post, you can do so here. RSS feed. I've just recently added Twitter, and you can do it by email, whichever one you like. All right, let's dive into the trades that I'm looking at on the weekly charts. I'm going to give you a couple of bonuses on our intraday chart, and then quickly look at some recent trades that us Crosshairs traders have been trading who joined me during the week on our weekly live webinars. First of all, let's start with Norfolk Southern, NSC. Keep in mind when my proprietary software fires a crosshair on a weekly chart, we go back and look at things on our daily and intraday chart and make a decision to enter the trade on those charts. We do not do so based off a weekly crosshair. The weekly crosshair gives us an idea of where the stock's most likely to go, its direction over the course of the next few weeks to months. Norfolk Southern is right at a point where it had fired a crosshair back at the beginning of 08, same price here, and we had multiple months, pretty much all year long in 08, that Norfolk Southern went up. It has fired another crosshair here a few weeks ago. We do have some resistance to look at around the $61 level, and then we've got one at 68 and then 73 right in here. Okay. And that's actually a head and shoulders formation back here where we're getting these levels of resistance. So we'll be watching Norfolk Southern. What is interesting is Norfolk Southern actually fired a crosshair on our intraday chart Friday. So this could be an opportunity setting up for us to get into this trade as it is broken out on our daily chart. Therefore, if it can break out of this area here, you got a couple of dollars to move, and then we've got a much more room according to our weekly chart to move. So you could open a small position here or wait until it breaks out some more, but it did fire a crosshair on our 144 chart, intraday chart, to go along with our weekly chart. That is bullish. AEM, we actually have been trading us Crosshairs traders for the last couple of weeks. It broke out on the daily chart. Therefore, I can remove the red line that we had. Red is resistance. Green is support. Let me remove this and put in our green. And then we traded it up to a possible resistance level, which comes from the weekly chart. And we can see that, but AEM is still bullish. So we're waiting to see if it can break out of this area here again and give us another possible trade up to the $80 level, if it can break out of this area right in here. So we've had a gold trade recently. AEM is still bullish for right now. IR, Ingersoll Rand. Let's notice what's going on with Ingersoll Rand on the weekly. We did have a crosshair. However, it came back and is possibly finding support around the 33.65 area, and you can see that on our daily chart. We still got a lot of work to do with IR. It's not one of the ones that are setting up exactly the way we want them to right now, but it's one to watch. WLL is interesting. Whiting Petroleum. We've had a crosshair on the weekly, and it's broken out on that weekly. Our next resistance level is about right where we are. So let's pull this down here, and let's say we're right there at it. Boy, if we can break out of that, it looks like we're going to have a nice move up to the 100 level, 100 to 105 level. So we'll keep our eyes on this one. It is finding support on the daily chart after breaking out right around the 93 area. So again, this is one that you could possibly start putting a position on in, and then add if it continues to break out. If it doesn't and it breaks down, then get out. Or if you're waiting for the breakout, you've got a few more dollars to wait. But a good opportunity on WLL win. We've had a nice consolidation on the weekly chart. It is trying hard to break out right here on the weekly chart. It still has not done it yet. If it does it, then we potentially have a $10 to $15 move up to the next resistance level on WIN. So we're watching WIN. It looks like it's trying hard to find some support on some of our major moving averages, but still struggling right here at that resistance, which comes from the weekly chart. So we're waiting to see, okay, what's going to happen with WIN. Could be a great opportunity on WIN. SPG, again, breaking out on the weekly chart, exactly what we look for. Resistance is not until the next resistance is not until around 100. Looks like it's trying to find support right here on this breakout on the daily. So if we see that it's going to hold here and begin to rise, then we've got a nice move possibly up to the $100 level on SPG. VNO, same thing, looks just like SPG. Is trying hard to find support right here on this breakout, and if it can do so, then we've got a nice possible run. And let's see where that run is up to on the weekly chart, up to around 105. So you're looking at about a possible $20 move on VNO. Could be some resistance around the 98 to 100 level here as well. But from where it is right now, that is a good move up to the next possible level of resistance. So that is one to watch. The moving averages aren't exactly where I want them to be on the weekly, and us CROSSHAIRS traders know that. But it could give us a run of several dollars. Last one on the weekly, AXP. AXP fired a crosshair several weeks ago. Our moving averages are starting to squeeze together in here, which is what we like to see. And then we can move up to the 47.95 level. So let's change these colors here. This is red. Here we have green. And this is red. Red for resistance, green for support. It's trying to find some support in there. In fact, just to give you a good visual, let's put in another parallel here, right down in here. So it's finding some good price support level in here, some demand going on, and then we could trade it up possibly to the $48 level. So we're going to be watching that On our daily chart, the resistance up in here could give us pause right now, but one that we're watching during our weekly crosshairs meetings. A few bonuses that I want to throw in here. EWC. EWC fired a crosshair on our intraday charts. Got a huge wick here that we need to be mindful of, and that comes from EWC, which is iShares Canada, hitting a huge, obviously a huge resistance level and pulling back. So we're going to be watching this one. Could trade it back up to here. That's only about $1, but it is an opportunity for a little bit of money. But if it can break out of that area right here, we've got a long way to go before this thing could possibly stop. So we really need to be watching this one as a great trade going into the end of the year. So that's one to watch on our weekly chart with a 144 crosshair. Okay. MDY, which is our mid-cap ETF. Just like the general market that's been in this range for quite some time, MDY has now broken out, as crosshairs traders have been talking about how this market could be breaking out from a consolidation to a trending market, much like it did back here in March and April. Could be doing the same thing. So MDY is one that we're watching. And FXI, which is China, same thing. It's broken out of a resistance level and given us a crosshair on the 144. So it's broken out here, telling us that this could be heading higher. So we're watching our FXI up to a resistance level of around 44. So that's one to keep in mind. Keep in mind also FXI being a foreign ETF, China can have some great moves one way or the other against you and for you as far as gaps. So you've got to keep that in mind and keep your stops tight. But some resistance levels coming up, but some room to run right now. Some recent trades I'll just quickly point out that us crosshairs traders have been able to watch during the week. PCP broke out on the daily, one that fired us a crosshair on the 144 and actually has fired it again. PCP's got a possibility of a great run up to about the 135 level. PNRA was a recent one, broke out up to a resistance level. Here's our crosshair on the daily chart. Now we're waiting to see if it's going to bust out again and give us another opportunity. CRM was another one. Nice crosshair on the daily. Everything's lined up, everything that we look for. Nice trending stock, broke out and continues to possibly give us another trade. The last one that just fired Friday, BEXP. Beautiful looking chart. BEXP breaking out of some consolidation in here. Our moving averages that we watch are where that we want them to be, breaking out of a recent resistance area. We've got our crosshair, and then we've got some ideas of where the resistance is. We know where this can possibly go and where it can possibly pause for us to add positions to. Again, if you're interested in joining us, would like to see an intra-week webinar for members only, email me. Be glad to have you, david@crosshairstrader.com. Join me throughout the week with my blog post. Would love to have you. I've started doing a Monday morning report as well. Would love to, or an early morning pre-market intelligence report. Would love to have you join me there as well. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Thank you.